Thank you for watching part 2 of Scratch Live Setup Screen in Depth. We will continue where we left off.
So I have that checked, and finally in this box, vinyl start offset. It's important that both of these are at 0. For some Scratch DJs, you always cue it up at the first little ring of your record, and that can get worn out. Vinyl start offset adjusts where the software begins to read the record. So if you've worn out your first groove, you can turn this up. It can get confusing though, because for some people who have adjusted this, they hit play on their record, but it takes 2 minutes for the song to start, as you see down here. So, unless you have bad record burn, keep it at 0. See, DJs, always going to want to have it at 0. No reason I see to adjust that there. And let's go over to the library tab. This is a big one. Okay, read iTunes library option. Pretty self-explanatory. I personally don't have it checked. A whole slew of problems can come up when you rely on another company's software for yours to work. So I cut out the middleman. I don't read the iTunes library. The option below it, protect library, I do have that checked. With a check mark in there, it prevents you from deleting or renaming anything in the library. So if you're trying to delete a track, change the tag info, change the song, album artist info, you need to come in here and uncheck that option. Below that, customize crate views. Basically, with customized crate views, you can have every new crate that you make mimic your all crate. So if you want your crates just to be universal, look the same, okay, do that and set up your all crate the way you want all of the other ones to work. I personally like to have a similar format in all my crates. Makes it easy to find the information I need when I'm flipping through them fast. So I've got that. Center on selected song. Well, okay, you just loaded the last song that you can see in your library view. Center on selected song will then pop that to the middle. You see more of what's above it and below it. Just helps you when preparing your next track selection. Show all file types. Well, I usually leave it unchecked because when it's checked, Scratch Live can or will attempt to import songs that it doesn't support. Videos, certain videos, podcasts, things of that nature, they'll show up and they can cause issues. I typically leave it unchecked. WMA files, which are Windows Media Player, with that option checked, they show up. But WMA is not a supported file type, so it won't play. To avoid that confusion, simply uncheck that, and pretty much everything you'll see in the Files tab should be playable. Include subcrate tracks. That's for your crate section over on the left-hand side. When you have a subcrate, and you click on the parent crate, it basically, with this option checked, will list everything that's in the subcrate inside of the main crate as well. Handy. I like it. I keep it checked. Autofill overviews. I personally have it unchecked. It's very important to analyze your files and build the overviews. So I do it manually, just by disconnecting the hardware, pushing the tab, so I don't need the autofill overviews. But it's handy if you're not religious about analyzing files. Keep it checked. Look for the bad or corrupt files. It's a little CD with a crack or a lightning bolt through it. You want to remove those from the library. And you'll only find those after the file's been analyzed. The final option here is import AAC files. Anybody using iTunes, downloads, it's important to have those. AAC is the default file type of iTunes, so typically have that checked. You won't have any issues. Font size, album art size, that just relates back to the main library. You can increase the sizes here. Takes a little bit of power from the computer. I personally don't use album art in my library, so I have these turned all the way down. And moving on, display. Well, this is another one of those screens where everything is set to default to work for the majority of people's computers. Maximum screen updates per second, 60. Okay, it refreshes 60 times per second, gives it a smooth appearance. If you lowered this, your screen may start to get choppy, so leave it at 60. Audio cache is just basically a buffer. Okay, we're keeping 15 seconds of audio in the system. If we had a 10-second USB dropout, we'd never know it because we had 15 seconds of audio buffered in there. The higher you raise this, the more taxing it is on the computer, but can be beneficial in the case of USB dropouts. Again, that's something we could cover at another time, another video. Let me know. And finally, show album art on deck. Like I said, I don't personally use it, so I do not have that option checked. MIDI tab, well, what can I say? It's glamorous. Nothing in here right now. If you're using different devices, you may see the XMLs files show up in here. So as you can tell, I'm not using any at the moment. Not everybody is, so we'll go past that. And finally, plugins. This is where you find all the goodies for Scratch Live. If you want to use the SP6 sample player, make sure you come in here, put a check mark to enable it. Same with DJ Effects. Enable DJ Effects plugin. Excellent. Enable 68 DJ Effects send. Even though I have the 57 plugged in, it's still going to give me this option. It doesn't apply to me, so at this point, I'm not going to have it checked. Serato playlists. Basically, you can upload your set list to Serato.com either after the fact or live real time. So those are a couple options there. And Video SL. This option won't appear until you actually install Video SL on the computer. But once you have, you can come in here, click Video SL. You want to enable it, and then once you have, you should enter your SVS number. If you haven't purchased it yet, cool, no problem. Hit demo. You're good to go. And the bottom thing here, use cursor keys to crossfade video. I like that option. If you don't have the 57 or the 68, you need some way to crossfade the video. You can use your mouse, you can use a MIDI controller, or you could use the keyboard shortcuts. So, a few options there. That essentially is the setup screen as far as the different tabs and the different things that you're going to see. All of this up here, calibration and scope views, we will deal in another video. But please let me know if you have any more questions about the setup screen and the different tabs that we have here. I'm going to go back to the main screen now. Everything's looking good. That's about all I got to say. So let me know if you have questions or comments. Thank you.